Welcome to how to make a Day of the Dead wreath. This was a regular brown wreath made of twigs that I spray painted black. You can spray paint it any color you want, but black seems to be the most neutral for Halloween or for Day of the Dead. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to hang a bunch of ribbons down the middle of the wreath. We're going to use several colors and several sizes. So first thing you want to do is pick a color scheme. I decided to use marigolds, which is the Day of the Dead flower. This flower is used because they say that it's so bright that it lights the passageway for our loved ones to come back on the Day of the Dead to visit with us. So I also picked these red flowers that I found at the 99-cent store full of glitter, which is awesome, and some purple ones, and an accent of this nice little pink here. I also found these skulls at Michael's for $1, and I have a bunch of ribbons that I bought throughout the year. Also, we have this garland that we'll use to fill in all of our holes before we put our flowers in. Okay, so once we picked our theme, these are the colors that I'm going to use. We use every shade. It doesn't have to be just these bright colors, but every shade because we want a bunch of ribbon. These thicker ribbons cost more, so we're going to make these strands a little bit shorter. Okay, and then, let's see. We can cut them straight. We can cut them at an angle. You can cut them like this. So first get all of your ribbons. Like this one, I'm going to make it go longer because it's a thinner ribbon. This is a ribbed ribbon, so it doesn't matter if it's straight or polka dots or ribbed. Okay, so I do love an orange to go with our marigold. I found this fun one here with these polka dots. I also found this great purple with gold. Okay. So then once we pick out all of the different colors and sizes that we want, we can start cutting. Okay? Okay, so here I have already cut my ribbon. I cut the thinner ones longer and the thicker ones shorter. I've glued most of them here, as you can see. And I've cut the bottoms all in different ways. I cut 2 of each strand of the thicker ones and 3 of each strand of the thinner ones. And then I just varied the colors so that they spread out. I'm gonna finish it off here, adding some of my thinner ones to make sure that the colors are spread out. Okay. Then I need some purple on this side as well. I'm going to add a purple one over here. Okay. Then I do an orange on this side. It doesn't have to be perfectly even as long as there's a variety of colors throughout. Okay. There we go. And they lay on top of each other, like a little rainbow. Beautiful. Let's see. I want to put some maroon over the purple to give it some depth. There we go. Looks like there's plenty of ribbon. Okay, now we have to glue on our garland. Okay. Okay, so now it's time for our garland. Here you can see I've already added the purple garland. All I did was tuck in the garland into the little nooks and crannies here of our wreath. So here's the red one. All I'm going to do is start here. I'm going to tuck this in here. And then you just work your way around it. I'm going to work my around the inside of the wreath since I already did the outside. Okay. Then just try and make some loops here into the empty spaces. You can glue it if you want, but we're going to glue all the flowers, so that should hold it together. If you find that some areas are stubborn, then just put a little drop of your hot glue to hold it there. Okay. See? So we want it just to go all the way around here. So I'm going to tuck it in right to the end so they touch. Okay. And then we'll start gluing on our flowers. So this is what it looks like with the ribbons and the garland. You can add more or less, whatever you like, whatever colors you like. Now we're just going to add our flowers. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is find the center of our wreath. And we are going to add our skull head. So we're going to add a lot of glue. Okay. I found my center, which is right here. Okay. These are foam, they're lightweight, so they should stick pretty well. Oh, my other flower set up, ready to glue. Okay, so now I've picked out the flowers that I want to use. I have these flowers here that I want to put on this side. Okay, so I have one of each color. I thought it'd be fun to put the red rose closest to its head. You see a lot of red roses also on these skull heads. So pick the side you're going to glue, add lots of glue. Okay. Careful not to burn yourself with this hot glue gun, but that's what that one looks like. Okay. We want to add our marigold. And a purple glitter flower, and of course, oops, our little pink accent flower here. Be careful not to cover up too much of another flower. Once they glue, they kind of hide. Okay, that looks good. Make sure your skull head stays. And I want to put some yellow on this side. We'll add some more red to this side like this. Okay, so that'll be our bottom tier here. So I'm going to glue all those together. Okay, so I already glued the bottom flowers. Now what you have to do is pick where you would like to place your other skulls. I don't like it to be too symmetrical and have one on each side, like 4. So I put one over to the side, one kind of facing in. It's up to you. I glued those first, and then we decide where we want to put our flowers. I think I'm going to put this one right here. Marigold on top. Red glitter flower at the very top, and then my purple glitter one at the bottom, like this, okay? So now we'll glue those. Make sure to use enough glue to hold it. It's got to go through the garland and attach itself to the wreath. Hold it down for a little bit so it can adhere well. Okay. And we'll do our marigold. I'm going to do it right on top of his head. Get the glue on the stem as well as the flower. The more glue, the better. Flatten out the leaves and then press firmly on it. Okay. Now we're going to put our red rose and some more rose sticks. Put that right in between the marigold and the other flower. Okay. And then we need our purple glitter flower here at the bottom. Okay. Right under that skull. It'll help support the skull and cover that hole. Okay. And there you go. So I finished gluing our skulls and the flowers. And the last thing we have to do is add our finishing touches of our little black flowers here, the leaves. These leaves came with the actual flowers that I bought, the red and purple glitter flowers. So all we're gonna do is fill in the little holes. You can put them wherever you want. I'm gonna put some on the ends of the flowers here. Just kind of finish it off. Okay, I'm going to put some on this side. Just put a little bit of glue on the stem. Lift up the flowers and tuck it in underneath. There we go. I'm going to put some on the top of this one as well. That's good. Let's see, do I want it sticking out this way? Yeah, we'll put it up here. Oops. Okay. Then I also want to add one up here in this little hole that I have. Even though there's no flowers up there, I think it would be nice just to add a little bit of leaves up there. Okay. bottom of this cluster of flowers. And I'll lift up the rose and stick it underneath it so that the stem is hidden. Okay, and that is it. There you go. I hope you enjoyed our video on how to make a Day of the Dead wreath. Here's our final product. Remember, you can make it your own, add more flowers, add more ribbon, just enjoy yourself. I hope you have a wonderful Halloween and a wonderful Dia de los Muertos holiday.